Hello. Yes. Let's talk about fuel subsidy. I heard something about the fuel subsidy, and in Lagos, Ibadan, the fuel queue, they have returned, and motorists are complaining. Nigerians have started complaining. But what baffles me is that a top official of NNPC claimed that in the last 8 to 9 years, NNPC has not paid any marketer a dime for fuel subsidy. He claimed NNPC has been responsible directly for importation of fuel, petrol to be precise, and they don't have to go through any marketers. I think that will contradict some of the claims we've had in the last administration. But that being said, he claimed that NNPC is responsible, that what government pays as subsidy now is the shortfall in the price. And I think that will be largely what will be largely responsible for that will be the exchange rate. So if we are having that kind of shortfall, and the debt this administration, the liability from that this administration inherited, it was from the shortfall, then what are we complaining about? Why I'm doing this broadcast today is because we keep treating this issue of subsidy as if subsidy on its own is the crime that we all hate, that we don't want. But it is wrong. It is wrong. If subsidy is supposed to, ameliorate the sufferings of Nigerians as regards petroleum products. So if some people are taking undue advantage of that policy, it is the responsibility of government to arrest and deal with such people. It is not the responsibility of the average Nigerians. So government failed, and that is why some people are taking undue advantage of subsidy. So subsidy came into play at all because of government failure. Abuse of subsidy also is because of government failure. Now, government is putting all the sacrifices, all the pains and sufferings of government failure back to Nigerians. That is what is wrong. That is what is wrong. So if NNPC, that is supposed to manage the production of petroleum products from our crude oil through the refinery, has not been able to do so, the same NNPC is responsible for importation of fuel into Nigeria after exporting our crude in exchange for refined products, and there are shortfalls which Nigerians are now paying for. It shows that government is still failing. Previous administrations failed, and this present administration too is beginning to fail. That is just it. Over 1 year into this administration, our refineries have not started working. About 3 weeks ago, Mele Kyari claimed that the refineries will start. Till now, he still says they will start. They will start. Till now, they're still telling us that NNPC set to start selling crude to Dangote refinery. They've been saying that before the End Bad Governance protest started, and they are still saying it till now. Failure in our government is becoming so normal. It's government failure. Nigerians are paying for government failure. Nigerians are not paying for what we don't have. We are paying for what we have. We have crude oil. We export crude oil. Now import refined products. And government is now I'm not even getting the pronunciation well again. Government is now subsidizing our home products. It's failure. It's failure. And like Chief Obasanjo said, that we cannot continue reinforcing failure. This administration, particularly President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he came in with a lot of promises. And I think this area is something that he really needs to think like a patriot, not like a businessman now. He must think like a patriot. All the political will that we know that he has, he must use it to make our refinery work. Our refineries must work. We can't rely on Dangote refinery, and even Dangote refinery is already 1 year behind schedule according to the timetable read out early last year. So what are we talking about? We're still talking about subsidy in this administration. This administration, over 1 year, 15 months counting, and we still cannot have seamless supply of petroleum products in this country. It is failure. It is failure. Ẹni tó bá lójú ń tì. I think this administration should be ashamed, because all about Ibadan today, even Lagos, some of the places have inquired, people are suffering to buy fuel. Apart from buying it at high prices, they are suffering, staying on the queue for hours before. And it's only NNPC and Ohando today. It's only NNPC and Ohando that are selling fuel. You know, it's like a monopoly or sort of, because the major marketers, they don't, most of them don't even have fuel to sell. Where are we going in this country? Where are we going in this country? This government promised us heaven and earth, but what have we seen? Non-performance. We have seen non-performance, and it's so sad. It's so sad, and I think government need to do something about it. Fuel subsidy on its own, introduction of fuel subsidy on its own is attestation to government failure. Successful abuse of fuel subsidy too is another attestation to government failure. So why should Nigerians pay for consecutive failure in governance? That's what we are paying for. As long as our refineries are not working, it's only an attestation to government failure, to leadership failure. I rest my case. I pray, like I always do, that Nigeria we can hail will really come in our own time. Thank you.